Good afternoon, and thank you for giving Telstra this opportunity to discuss with you what we've learned about your business in the meetings we've had so far, what we understand about your future direction, and our initial ideas for how we can help you on that journey. Today, we're going to be covering off 4 key areas. Firstly, the business context in which you are currently operating. The second area, those key performance measures that you really want to shift over the next couple of years. I then would like to outline our approach to helping you achieve your business goals through the work that we do and the things that we specialise in. And finally, I want to answer the question why you should be working with Telstra. And we've got a couple of ideas around creating a really compelling story about our partnership. So we've got about 10 minutes to go through most of this content. I encourage questions. I certainly think we put a lot of effort into just capturing the high level content, and as we go along we might dive into some of the detail. So I've got a copy of this presentation to give you afterwards. We've also got some notepads on the desk in which you can make some notes. So if you've got any other questions to ask, then ask them now. Otherwise, let's get into the presentation. Your stated business objective is to double the size of your business in the next 3 years. And so we've placed that right at the top of the work that we'd love to do with you. You've identified essentially 3 things that are currently going on that are going to be important for you to resolve if you are to achieve that objective. And those things break down into 3 areas. The first is the market forces in which you're operating. The second is how you manage your inventory. And the third is how well and how efficiently you manage your contractors. And you've listed a couple of key things in each of those areas that I'd like to go through now. So firstly, in the market, what you're dealing with is a customer base that is becoming increasingly demanding around a number of key things. Firstly, there's a demand on you coming up with a better quality and lower priced offer year after year. So there's certainly pressure on margins in a situation like that. Secondly, they're also been much more demanding about how quickly you operate, how fast you can get someone out to site to do an appraisal, how quickly they can respond with a quotation, and how they can get answers to the questions they need. So speed is becoming increasingly important. In terms of the way you manage your inventory, we certainly know that there aren't particularly good systems and processes now that can follow an order as it leaves your database, goes to your dispatch centre and is arriving on site. And some of the challenges that you're facing is that some of the things that are needed by your teams are arriving either at the wrong location or sometimes arriving in the wrong quantities or in the wrong qualities. And this is slowing down how fast you can work on a job. So certainly this process of understanding the job and the materials needs to be looked at. Secondly, you have some struggles with how well you're reporting on inventory, which means it's very hard for you to understand which are your most profitable jobs and which are your least profitable. And of course, that's having an impact on how you're doing your bidding and your quoting. So reporting and information is a really, really important thing to overcome. Turning now to your contractor base. Last year you said you did more than 3,000 pieces of work with 500 different contractors. But once again, from a systems, reporting and connectivity point of view, you aren't in a position to understand exactly who you have on each site and what work they're doing. And so you've got some challenges around how productive, how efficient and how effective that group of contractors is. Secondly, by not having a clear handle on the contractor base, it might be creating some risks in terms of not knowing who's on site and therefore having adequate insurance certificates, overall insurance cover, and indeed knowing have you got the right talented people working on the right jobs. So certainly there's some risk associated with lack of information. So definitely what you've told us so far is that if you want to achieve your objective of doubling the business in 3 years, then these 3 critical areas will need to be looked at. Firstly, how you respond to your market, how you manage your inventory, and how well you manage your contractor base. So to think about, therefore, where you might want to go in the future, we're going to have a look at the next window, which is what are those key performance measures? So turning now to the key performance measures that you're going to need to influence over the next 3 years to achieve your goals, we've got 3 things that we've captured for you. The first is how you work or how efficiently you work with your estimators. Secondly, how well you manage the materials in your business. And thirdly, the utilisation of your contractors. So let's just go through where you are today and where you'd like to be, say, in 2 to 3 years. So in terms of your estimators, at the moment, they're able to complete 1 estimate per day. We'd like to help you get to 2 estimates per day. You've also said that the turnaround time, while it's improved over the last couple of years, has got to 8 hours from going on site and getting an estimate to a customer. You'd like to get that to 4 hours, or essentially a same-day response. So they're 2 pretty important changes in the way your estimators do their work. In the area of materials, certainly some of the lack of efficiency in the way you're ordering, dispatching and monitoring materials, you believe that there's an ability to find a 10 to 15% saving in your materials bill each year. And in terms of utilisation, with better systems and reporting, you believe you can find significant gains in the utilisation of your contractor base, which at the moment you believe to be somewhere around 55%. You'd like to get that to something more like, say, 65%. In our conversations with you, this has highlighted 3 principal areas we need to focus on. Area number 1 is the systems you use to manage your people, your materials and your contractors. Secondly, we'd like to help and talk about how we can bring those systems to talk to each other more effectively, particularly with a dispersed workforce and lots of people out in the field. So we also need to talk about connectivity. And what the better systems that are better connected will help you do is get much better reporting, allowing you to work on improvements in the business faster. So those were the 3 key performance measures we had a look at with you. Firstly, getting your estimators more efficient. Secondly, better use of materials so that you can lower the cost. And thirdly, improving the utilisation of your contractors by about 10%. What we want to do now is talk about how we would work with you to bring that about. When our clients come to us with a bold vision like doubling the business in 3 years, it's important that you come up with a plan that matches both the size of the project, the importance of it, and the speed that you want to move at. We believe the first thing you need to do is to complete a productivity review. This review would look essentially at the journey that information makes through your business. So from an estimator sending out a quote, a customer placing an order, how that order gets managed in your systems and dispatched, how that the materials make it out to the site, and how the site signs off that they've in fact used them. We think we could follow that trail and find significant opportunities for gains in productivity and effectiveness, and upgrades to systems and processes, connectivity of course, and then those important reports. Second thing is then to give you an IT roadmap. In that, like most businesses, you have a demand on capital as well as limited amounts of time and energy and resources. The IT roadmap is designed to help you identify those things that you should do first that will give you the biggest impact. Also, to think about some of the things that might take longer to invest in, that might need to be saved up for, that would have a longer term impact. So the IT roadmap really gives you where to start, what to do next, and what to do in the long term. And that, therefore, would launch a series of system upgrades. It's too early to say what those system upgrades would be, but we can identify what the system upgrades would be designed to do. First one is system upgrades are designed to lift productivity. That would be lifting productivity in two principal areas: the speed of your estimators, so you'll be much more responsive to customer needs, and secondly, just the quality of the work that you do out on site, allowing you to finish jobs sooner and of course get paid sooner. We also think that efficiency in the management of your inventory could have significant impacts on freeing up capital, which is currently tied up in a lot of materials that you don't either need or don't need in the quantities that you have. Freeing up capital would be a fantastic thing for this business, allowing you to invest in the sorts of technology and systems that you need, or indeed in other processes you want to improve, or indeed have that flow straight through to the bottom line. And the final area we think we can help, of course, is in lifting sales revenue. The faster you work, the better you work, the more responsive you are to customers. We believe there's a lot more business that you could capture out there. And definitely we know that's going to be important if you're going to hit your double the revenue and double the profitability target in 3 years. So that's a high level of the solution we're putting forward, starting with a productivity review, moving to an IT roadmap, and then initiating a system upgrade process, giving you those benefits that we just talked about. So of course now you need to know, why would you want to work with Telstra on this? So let me cover that right now. We really thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to learn more about your business and certainly about your future direction, and also to give a high-level understanding of how we approach helping you achieve your 3-year goal. So I really do want to answer the question, why would you work with Telstra? There are 3 things that we think really drive that. First is we have a history with you. Having been working with you for more than 5 years, we've been a partner in growing your business to where it is today. We understand that natural things are great about your business. We also understand the barriers. We think our history and our passion for your business gives us the opportunity to get a real fast start on this particular project. Over the last couple of years, Telstra has significantly expanded its capabilities from just traditional telephony through our understanding of mobiles, and right now really understanding the power of the cloud, security, data storage, and a range of other services that we're bringing into our areas of expertise. And the great news about Telstra, of course, is that you can get that from a one-stop shop, which means that we'll manage your process right from the start, right through to the end, with a seamless way of giving you the best people within our business. And we think that's a really important way to lower risk. And we have the track record and we have the case studies to prove our ability to find productivity gains in our clients' business. In fact, just the other day, we completed a project where a team of 40 people on the road, we were able to help them find 2 hours per week in improved productivity. What that meant to that business was, for a small upfront investment, they were able to find the equivalent, if you like, of 2 additional salespeople out on the road. And that dramatically increased their ability to generate new revenue with only a minimal investment up front. So it's those types of projects we'd love to explore with you and see how they might apply to your business. So we've got a solid track record of success. So really thank you for your time. I think the next thing we need to do is just to say that with this is a very high level response. We'd love to dive into the detail now, handle some of your questions, but I hope what we've told you today is we understand where you are. We certainly are really excited about where you would like to take your business, and we have a plan to help you get there. So I hope you'll consider this as our way of saying we really love to work with you. So perhaps we could start now by getting into the detail.